How's it going, Jack Attackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today we are going to be continuing the Rocky Review-athon, the series that no one watches on this channel, but I still post videos for it anyway. Today we're going to be talking about the 2015 film Creed, which is directed by Ryan Coogler, who also ends up directing Black Panther after this movie. And I don't know if it was directly after this movie, because that movie came out in 2018, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, overall, this movie is fantastic. I really enjoy it. Although I don't know if it's as good as some people think it is. I mean, I don't really have many negatives with it. Overall, though, I just think that some of the other Rocky movies are better than it. Like, I would still say, obviously the first one's better than this, but I would still probably say Rocky 2 is better than this one, and maybe even Rocky Balboa. I know that's a bit of a hot take, but if you saw my Rocky Balboa review, you know that I really enjoy that movie. But I still really love this movie. I mean, it's a banger for sure, dude. I mean, that's just what I gotta say up front. It's amazing, and kind of caught me off guard the first time I saw it, because this movie is, by all means, a drama. It's super dramatic. It's grounded for sure. I mean, you thought Rocky Balboa was kind of grounded. This movie takes it to another level. It's extremely grounded and gritty. I mean, there's a few F-bombs in here. I know it's kind of cringe to mention, because it's, I use those words all the time, but I don't think that's ever been used in a Rocky movie. There's a few F-bombs, just gotta be honest. It's still PG-13 though, but I do think that's kind of interesting to point out. It's very gritty and grounded in reality. I mean, it takes itself 100% seriously, and it's not goofy like something like Rocky 3 or Rocky 4 or even Rocky 5, because those three movies are super goofy and just, I don't hate those films, but this movie is something else entirely. And there's so many little references and Easter eggs to the Rocky lore. My favorite one is when Rocky makes Adonis chase the chicken when he's training him from Rocky 2, when Mick did the same thing to Rocky. I mean, I love that. It's just so funny. It's so random. Chasing a chicken. I love it. And there's just so many little callbacks. I mean, if you've seen all the Rocky movies and then you go and watch this one, like I did, because I, rewatched some of these and watched a lot of these for the first time, but back to back to back, you really pick up on a lot of the Easter eggs in this movie especially, and it's very much a Rocky movie. I'll just be honest. I mean, it is definitely, the main character is Adonis Creed, or Adonis Johnson. He's a Creed. I mean, at the end of the movie, he comes to terms with it. And, I think the character of Adonis Creed is fantastic. Michael B. Jordan, the GOAT, he's amazing in this movie. My favorite scene is probably towards the end, when he's like on the ground. He's I don't know if he's entirely unconscious, but then he wakes up and he has all those flashes, and then you see the flash of Apollo Creed, and then he wakes up and they start playing that. By the way, the guy who did the music for this movie, Ludwig Göransson or whatever, the guy who did The Mandalorian's music and I think Tenet's music, amazing composer. And that music that starts playing, it's like a remix of Gonna Fly Now and a bunch of other little musical cues from the previous movies, but it's all like a mashup. And Adonis gets up and then he goes to town. It's really good stuff. I mean, that's probably my favorite scene of the movie. I mean, that final fight, it's a great fight at the end. It is so good. I mean, genuinely one of the best fights in the Rocky franchise. I love it. I mean, it's amazing. And I mean, that just, you could say that a lot about this movie, because the fights, I mean, are pretty important for a Rocky movie. I don't think they're 100% everything about a Rocky movie. They don't make or break a Rocky movie entirely, but let me tell you, some good fights in here. And going back to the grounded thing, we also find out Rocky, in this movie, he gets cancer. And Sylvester Stallone, I mean, Michael B. Jordan was great in this, but Sylvester Stallone is also giving an incredible performance in this. I mean, we also find out Paulie's dead, which is just so tragic. Rocky's pretty much lost everyone except his son. And yeah, everyone else is dead, because he's lost Mick, he lost Apollo, he lost Adrian, and now he lost Paulie. So it's pretty sad. But Sylvester Stallone, honestly, I will say, this also might be one of his best performances in general. It definitely maybe his best performance as Rocky Balboa. I don't know. It might be. It is so good. It is just, there's some good stuff in here. And I just love a lot about this movie. I think the cinematography is great. Again, going back to the fight scene, that is filmed really well. It's so intense. I mean, this movie's so intense overall and just gets you amped up, bro. Let me tell you. I'm sure a lot of people have said that already, but it's just motivation. I mean, the Rocky movies in general are super motivational. Nothing's different with this one. You also have Tessa Thompson in here, who plays Adonis Creed's love interest, and she is good. It's not their dynamic is not as good as like Rocky and Adrian's from the first movie, I'll be honest. But she's got like hearing loss, so that's kind of an interesting character trait. Kind of makes their relationship a bit more tragic, and it is very interesting, to be honest. But I still, it doesn't hold a candle to Rocky and Adrian's relationship. But yeah, overall, really good movie. It's a banger for sure, and it's up there in terms of one of the better movies in the franchise. But of course, let me hear your guys' thoughts on this movie. I know a lot of people like this one. It's definitely one of the more critically acclaimed Rocky movies, I guess you could say, and just fan reactions. They're mostly positive on this movie. And, well, that makes sense because mine's mostly positive on this one. I don't really have many negatives. I mean, I just don't think it's as good as some of the other Rocky films. Again, like Rocky 2, and then maybe Rocky Balboa. I'm not sure, but really loved it overall. And, yeah, let me hear your thoughts. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.